Welcome back to another episode of Hikes and Walks. This is the Shiloh Monument Trail Part 3. And we got a butterfly down there below. I don't know if we caught it or not. Okay. Little bird flying in front of us. This should be the last part. We're going to be heading back into the George Manse Cabin Trailhead here at the end of this video, and we'll be going by Bloody Pond as well. One of the highlights of covered Bloody Pond in the Manse Cabin in episode 1, but I will mention Bloody Pond again on this one since it is a prominent feature of this section of the battlefield. Really nice monument right here. Not sure surrender in the thicket. Here's where this is where part of Grant's army was surrendered in the Hornets nest back there. They're surrounded by Confederate soldiers, and at the end of day 1 it looked like it's going to be a Confederate victory. This is defeated victory, it says. This was I don't know how well they'll show up. It's a Confederate monument. We'll make a little loop up here, and then we'll wrap back around, and it won't be much longer till we get to the Bloody Pond George Manse Cabin Trailhead. On some of these monuments and stuff, it doesn't really give a ton of information. It's kind of more like a monument to like overall just the battle. And the defeated victory, the Confederate monument back there says defeated victory, that was paid for by daughters of Confederate soldiers. So it was their monument to their ancestors. This is I've got away from the biting flies, so that is good. I think I've either killed most of them that landed on me, or they decided to turn around. Really bad through the Sunken Road, Hornets Nest area. But a lot of the monuments, if you're going to come out here and do this and you want a real historical picture before you do the tour, stop by the visitor center. They have a video you can watch where they had a reenactment of the battle. You can watch that video. Very in-depth. They have very in-depth tour guides that give that presentation. I did not do it because I got here before it opened. But if you're going to come out here and you really want to just get the depth of the knowledge of these 2 days, do the video and the presentation at the visitor center. They also have a bookshop with maps and everything, books. This is just mainly highlighting the walking trail in the Hiking Tennessee book, the Shiloh Monument Trail, the 3.2 mile loop. But here's a neat little Michigan, commemorating the Michigan infantry that fought and died here. Okay, I'll pick back up. We're almost done. I'd say about 3/10 of a mile will be done. The sun is starting to bear down, and there's someone actively looks like they're cutting the field, mowing the field, creating some hay, cutting hay to come to mow the field. That's what they're going to do, and they're cutting it, and they'll come back by and bale the hay. Nice. They used to not be mowed in the summertime. They stopped mowing for a few years, I guess, when funding was down for the national parks, and they would kind of leave it like, about waist high. For a few years it was about waist high. But glad to see them back out here cutting it. I don't know if you can see, but over there in the distance, that building way over there in the distance, that's the welcome center, or the welcome center for the Indian Mounds Riverside Trailhead. So you saw that in one of my prior videos. It looks like from the outset this video will be cut into 3 parts, which nice. 3.2 mile walk, 3 parts will be nice. And it looks like it might have some good natural stop and start points, so this might flow better. But over here, just more like infantry, where the cannons are, more infantry like statues and everything of the different armies of the different states. I hope this walk you've enjoyed it. It's something different. My love is the pure hiking trails, and there's the road to the Indian Mountain Trail. My love is the pure hiking trail, but this was in my book, and this park is only about 20 to 30 minutes from my house, so, and I want to come out, and it's a beautiful park. It really is. Very well maintained. It has eagles here. So, eagle nest inside. That's what's closed off in there, inside there, so you can't walk around out there. But hope you enjoyed the walk. I know it wasn't an end all be all to the Battle of Shiloh from a Civil War historian, but like I said in part one, there's a lot of channels out there that they have the PhDs, they have the decades of knowledge of reading and learning about all the battles of the Civil War. That American Civil War Battlefield Trust is another good YouTube channel. Check them out, kind of explain their mission. They also do raise funds to purchase more land to make more complete battlefields. So I just really hope you enjoyed the environment. Hope you enjoyed the sounds of nature, and I had just a tiny bit of knowledge there, a sliver of knowledge there from just reading. But like I said, some of the monuments, it's more of like a monument to instead of like specific armies and stuff like that, monuments to like, idea of like troops and everything like that. So they already have like a specific, this is what happened here on some of these monuments. So some of them I just really kind of pointed out what I saw on the monument. I do apologize if I stammer or I struggle towards the end. These are kind of more unedited videos. I like to capture each step of the walk. So as the more I go on, the more tired I get, the more I do tend to stumble over my words more often. But that's just the nature of how I feel. We're getting close back up here to the Bloody Pond. Underneath this tree, this dead limb, I noticed this driving in, kind of hanging over the road. It won't be much longer to Bloody Pond and the end of the 3.2 mile loop. I've gone 3.7 miles, it says. So, but I did take a detour down Sunken Road. But not sure how that limb is hanging on. I think it's wrapped around a vine or something. Cause yeah, I think it's a vine. It's a limb or a vine. Okay, it's just a vine. I thought it was a limb, but it's just a vine. A dead vine, but here's to the Army of Missouri. Over here on the left, cut the monument's cut in the shape of the state of Missouri. That's a really neat monument. I enjoyed that. Missouri, one of those border states. It was with the Union, but there were some that fought on the Confederate side as well. The hayfields on the right. The Army of the Tennessee was it was Grant's Army of the Tennessee. Tennessee, you know, although it succeeded from the Union, there was quite a bit of folks that did fight for the Union in the Civil War from the state of Tennessee. I think I read a lot of people from like eastern Tennessee, you know, did fight on the Union side. But Wicker Field through here. That's where you see the hay bales and everything. They probably sell that hay, I bet, to local farmers and stuff with cattle. Nice little breezes blowing in, which is most appreciated. It's going to be, I think the high today is going to be 99, 98, 99, with a heat index well over 100. So I came out here about 7:30, 8 o'clock, and really wanted to knock it out before it got too hot. But like I said, I will be back after this like 3 video series. I will be back at a later date, probably wait about a year before I come back. So I'll have a little bit more diversity of trails. But this was just a 3.2 mile loop, and I read out of the Hiking Tennessee book, the Shiloh Monument Trail. Now there is a all trail Shiloh Military Trail that covers like Shiloh Church and all the cemetery. That is 10.1 miles. So I can, you know, come back and work on knocking some of that out as well at a later date, maybe in the fall, like October, or maybe next spring, around the time that the battle took place, so you can kind of see how it may have looked. All right, here is the Bloody Pond I was telling about in episode 1. So, but you know, this is here where both Union and Confederate soldiers would come here to get a drink, but also they'd wash their wounds and stuff. So it didn't take long before this whole pond was just blood red. And if I can try to edit that, I'll try to put in like a color edit, a color filter, kind of turn the water red so you can kind of see how it may have looked. You know, not 100% ideal. It does, it's a very small pond. It's got some live fish in there. A lot of dragonflies on top, but there is, it looks like the type of algae in there. It's kind of got like an iron color, a rust color, but I think that's due to the algae. But we covered this in episode 1. So we will end today's walk at Bloody Pond. Thank you so much for watching this series. I hope you enjoyed it. It's a little bit different, more of a road walk, but with a slight detour on Sunken Road. So, and thank you for putting up. I'm not an authority on the Civil War battles, appreciate you putting up with my limited information. But like I said, if you come here, do the visitor center, do the video and everything, you can get a map, the tour, get you much more detailed information. All right. Well, until next time, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Hikes and Walks, and we'll see you on the next hike or walk. Have a great day.